Good morning, guys. How is everybody this morning? Stephen Mann is first one in the house this morning. Hope you're feeling well, Stephen. Austin, good morning. Mark, good morning. Jeremy. Gary, good morning. Pitmaster X, good morning. Good to have you this morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Michael C, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well, and I hope their cooks turned out well yesterday. We'll talk about what we cooked yesterday. We cooked a lot of stuff yesterday using Grilla Grill pellet grills and the pit barrel cooker. So we've got a lot of food left over today, so I'm not going to have to cook today, which is a plus. So we'll talk about all that yesterday. Canadian Jim, good morning. John, good morning. My brother Harley, good morning. Good to have all you guys. I want to say thanks for showing up this morning, and also want to thank everybody that catches this on the replay. You're appreciated as well. And if you will, before you get out of here, whether it's live or on the replay, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you like what you see. Elvin, good morning. Good to see all of you this morning. So, thank you very much. Bless you, man. Great to have you. Always great to have you. Love your stuff. Anytime, anytime. Thank you very much. I did walk the Silverbac yesterday. Walked him out, got those squared up wheels round again, and let it roll some smoke. Turned out pretty good. I had a couple of racks of baby back ribs on there, some sausage on there, a couple of tinfoil packs of mushrooms, seasoned mushrooms on there. And then on the pit barrel cooker, I cooked 2 racks of baby back ribs on it and some wings. So we had 4 racks of baby back ribs, some sausage, some mushrooms, some wings. So we got a lot left over too. Austin's back on night shift, so my day is about done. No barbecue this weekend, just sleeping. Yeah, I don't blame you, Austin. John cooked a turkey yesterday, brined for 12 hours. It was delicious. First turkey I've smoked, and I have to say that I'll be doing smoked turkeys from now on. Yeah, that adds another bit of flavor with the smoke that you can't get in your oven. So that's the way I like to do it. Now, last year I cooked a turkey actually in the pit barrel cooker with their turkey hanger, and that turned out really well. Mark says, no cooking yesterday. Spent the day at the state fair. Ate things there that are not considered health food. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of health food at the fair, but it's a lot of good eats over there. Good morning from Germany. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. The Cosmo Q brine. I need to try some of that stuff. I still haven't tried any of the Cosmo stuff. I need to get a hold of old Cosmo and see if we can work something out with that. Jace, good morning. Jeremy made 2 batches of jerky. That's awesome. I need to make some more jerky. Gary pulled pork. Turned out amazing. Good stuff. Well, the ribs, they turned out really good. Again, I have to say, and I don't know why it is, but I just prefer those ribs for some reason off the pit barrel cooker. They just turn out really good. Didn't do anything to them. I spritzed them every hour with some apple cider vinegar that was cut down with a little bit of water. And that was about it. I mean, just let them go. I did use some apple chips. I'll tell you 2 things I did differently yesterday using the pit barrel cooker. I didn't have any lump charcoal. I didn't have any briquettes. And we've talked about this before. I didn't have any briquettes, but I wanted to use it, so I just used some of the lump charcoal that I had, and that's the first time I've used lump charcoal in my pit barrel cooker. Um, and I didn't light it the way I normally do, which is in the chimney. I just filled the basket up, and I had two of those tumbleweed starters, and I kind of dug a hole on opposite sides of the basket, put my fire starters in there, lit those, and then just kind of put a little top on the fire starters with a little bit of charcoal and let them catch. I left the lid open for probably about the first, I don't know, 6, 7 minutes, and then shut it down and just let it go for another 20 minutes or so and let it catch really good, and then just start it, and it cooked just like normal. So I was kind of curious to see if I was going to have any issues with it at all, and I really didn't. So for any of you guys that are debating on whether you can use lump charcoal in it or whatever, my cook turned out great. So, and I personally like the flavor of lump charcoal a little better than briquettes. Burns a little cleaner, in my opinion. So that turned out really well. And so then normally I use wood chunks, but I couldn't find any. All I could find was chips. So I just sprinkled the top with those wood chips, and still turned out good. So I was happy with it. And the weather. Yeah, thanks for mentioning it. Hog Therapy Barbecue, good to have you this morning. Okay, one more beer. Good morning. The weather was great yesterday for a change. Had a little breeze most of the day yesterday. We took the TV out on the back porch, watched football yesterday, and cooked and just hung out and enjoyed the weather. There was a little breeze. Had a little bit of rain shower yesterday. Not real heavy, but just enough to cool everything off. It was really nice out there. So looks like I just checked the weather. I think right now, let's see. I think right now it's 67 here. Feels like 67. The high is going to be 85, which is still a little high for me, but a lot better than 97 or 100. But we are going to have a slight breeze today, looks like. And around 2 to 4 o'clock, a 40 to 45% chance of rain. So maybe get a little shower, probably about like yesterday. So, and I think the rest of the week is going to be in the mid 80s, mid to low 80s this week. So really looking forward to that for a change, finally. So that's really good. So again, if you will, before you hop off, just give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Weather finally breaking in Tennessee. Sure feels good. What part of Tennessee? Me and my brother Harley, we're originally from Gallatin, Tennessee. Love Tennessee. Matter of fact, Harley just spent a week up there in Tennessee, in Nashville, and a huge town called McKenzie, Tennessee, and Paris, Tennessee up there. I think it was actually smaller than the town that I'm living in now. Mark 75 here today in Central Virginia. That's going to be nice. 50 to 60 all week where Jeremy's at. So hopefully the temperatures are breaking and we can get some relief. I hope so. It's hard to believe it's still been 90-something degrees in October. John, thanks for the email back yesterday. Yeah, anytime. And I have slacked some on the email checking and message checking and all that, and I need to start doing that again. You know, again, I can't imagine all the messages that people like T. Roy and Russ and like Pitmaster X and all those guys, all the messages they get, because I'm starting to get a lot. And it's hard for me to keep up with all of them because sometimes people message me, you know, on here. Some people message me on Instagram Messenger. Some people message me on Facebook Messenger. Some people just send me a comment on Facebook. So sometimes I don't know where to check. I mean, it's like I've got to check a lot, and sometimes I miss them. And so I apologize if I miss some of your messages. With that in mind, and I can't believe this, but it's happening. So, paging Bob Workman. If any of you know Bob, Bob Workman is the guy that won the Chimp, and he has not gotten in touch with me. So, I'm going to put it on Facebook today and Instagram today. That's all I know to do. But if he has not contacted me by Wednesday on the live show, then we are going to do another drawing for the Chimp. That's the only thing I know to do. You know, what's the statute of limitations on how long you wait for someone to get in touch with you, you know? So I'm going to give him a week, and if I haven't heard from him by this coming up Wednesday night show, then we will have another drawing for the Chimp. That's all I know to do. So I'm going to post it today on Instagram and Facebook. But if any of you guys know Bob, send him a message. So Bob Workman, send me your email, or by email, send me your mailing address so I can get that to Mark and they can get you a Chimp sent to you. So that's all I know to do. I mean, y'all think that's fair? That's all I know to do. So we'll see what happens. Yesterday, Eddie fired up a new PK original with lump coal and smoked some ribs. Yeah, Harley got a PK a while back. He has tried it. I don't really think Harley has been as impressed as he thought he would be with it. Linville, Tennessee, about an hour south of Nashville. Gotcha. Might have to disqualify him because obviously he doesn't watch the channel. Yeah, I heard right from everybody else, but I haven't heard anything from Bob, so we'll see. If not, then we'll just draw for it again next Wednesday. So that's all I know to do. And I would hate to do that, so I hope he contacts me because I certainly don't want to, you know, my luck would be we have the drawing, it's given to somebody else, and then the very next day he sees it and sends me his address or something. You know, that would be, I don't want any controversy, you know what I mean? So hopefully he contacts me, but if not, then it'll go to somebody else. But for those of you guys that do have a pit barrel cooker, have y'all tried lump in it, and what was y'all's experience with it? Because after doing it yesterday and it turning out really good, I think that's probably just what I'm going to do from now on is use lump, because I just prefer lump over briquettes. So Harley's got the PK 360. Says it's good, but for the money, I think a Primo, an Egg, or a Kamado Joe is better. Or Kong. In other words, a ceramic for the money would probably be a better choice than his PK 360. Because that thing's about $800. That's a lot for a charcoal grill. He'll tune in to that live show to see it given to. Yeah, I mean, I hope stuff like that doesn't happen. I don't like controversy like that, you know. But I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, Eddie, and that's a good point. You know, you get curious about something, and you just want to try it, and that's how you learn. You want to know what all the hype's about, and I've seen them a lot in these state competitions and stuff like that, and you wonder, what's it all about, So and Harley, I mean, Harley talked about getting that PK for a while, and then he just pulled the trigger like he needed another grill. I use Fogo and the PBC and really like it. Yeah. Um, I use that Baltic lump charcoal, and I mean, like I say, it did really well. So I actually think it was a combo of that Baltic and some of the B&B Texas style lump, because they were in bags. And here's a tip for you that you might want to do. They were in the bags, but I started seeing where even just being outside, moisture was kind of getting on the bags. Now the Baltic type lump charcoal has a plastic liner inside the paper bag, but um, anyway, I just didn't want them getting wet, so I got a big plastic tub with a lid, and I just pour my lump charcoal into that and put the lid on it, similar to how I keep my pellets. And so uh, that's how I did it. But I think the Baltic and the B&B kind of got mixed together, but it all works. So, but the ribs turned out really good, really juicy, cooked. They were cooked perfectly. Um, they probed tender. I just took my thermopop and just kind of probed them for tenderness. But while I was doing that, I did kind of look and see, and they were like 204, 207 in some spots, but they weren't fall off the bone. They just had the good bite. I didn't wrap them, didn't do anything like that. Just threw them on. So turned out really good. I'll bring the PK to Nebraska and have something to grill on when I visit my daughter. We drive there once a month. That's awesome. Yeah, so this coming up weekend, me and Brandy will be going to Talladega to the race. And so I'm going to take the Chimp uh, there for that. It's going to be a little chilly at night in the upper 40s, I think. So we're going to take the fire pit and take some wood with us. And I also got one of those heater buddies or something like that, whatever they're called, some kind of heat buddy. I don't have it in here, but I got one of those to put in the tent with us, keep us warm too. But so it's going to be a little cool, but looking forward to that. Got a new canopy Friday. Put it up yesterday just to get the canvas on it and everything, so we wouldn't have to do that when we get there. And got a black canopy, so it'll look good with this banner and that kind of thing. Also got my koozies in. There's the koozies. I've got them on the website, so y'all check them out on the website, juspiddlinbbq.com, and get you a couple of koozies and get a couple for your friends. Hand them out. And hopefully this coming up week we'll have some hats back up on the website. I'm waiting on patches and the other hats. I think the other hats are coming tomorrow, but I'm not I haven't heard from Heath about the patches yet. Hopefully they come in, and Brandy can get a couple of them sewn on. This is one of the hats. It's kind of an olive drab green and black, and when you get that patch on it, that's going to look really good. And then I've got some navy blue in the front with the gray in the back, almost a Dallas Cowboyish type color. And I think those will look good. We just haven't done really any blues. Brandy wanted me to do some blues, so I said, all right, we'll do some blues. And I ordered one special colored hat because I'm doing the ordering, so I can do that. But and I want to see what you guys think about it. But it's called Khaki and Coffee, but it's khaki in the front. It really looks black in the back, but it has that coffee-ish looking. I don't know. It just kind of makes you think of coffee, I guess. And I think that'll look good with the leather patch on it. So we'll see how that goes. Real Show Barbecue. Good to have you this morning. What do you think of the build quality of the Blackstone? Love to cook on mine, but the frame's a bit wobbly. Yeah, I think Harley might have said that too when he got his. Bob, Eddie, that's a good one. Bob, Eddie says, Bob is my alias name. What did I win? Yeah, that's good. And he is from, where's Bob from? Lexington, South Carolina. Hog Therapy Barbecue. I've been using lump in all my barrel type cookers for about a year. I believe it tastes better and you have a lot less ash. I agree with you. I agree. And like I say, for the cook, I didn't have any, I really couldn't tell any difference as far as, the cook time and all that. I think the ribs, they may have took 4 hours, maybe. But it was windy yesterday too. But I just enjoy the lump a lot better than the briquettes. Yeah, John. Well, trust me, I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan. As a matter of fact, I'm not an NFL fan at all anymore after the kneeling bull crap that they do and all the prima donnas and all that. And you know, I just I don't have time for that. I can think of a lot better things to do with my time than watch NFL football. So I'm not an NFL fan at all. But I just know that there are a lot of people from Texas that are Dallas Cowboys fans and stuff like that. And even if you're not, it's a good looking hat. So I think it'll be good. $15. You still doing keto? I am, for the most part, still doing keto. I but actually I was down again about 3 pounds. At one morning this past week I was 195. Now it usually goes up and down, a pound or two. So the next morning I was back up to 196, 197 ish. But I'm hanging around the 197 mark right now. So, but when I started out, I was 230, 225, 230. So feel a lot better. My son Nate, he got on it and he has probably lost 40 pounds since June or July. So, I mean, it works. He even posted the other day. People keep asking if keto works. Well, it works if you do it right. So, yeah, I can't do the NFL thing. I just can't. I would take one of the new hats if they are big. Um, Austin, and I thought about you the other day. Uh, the new hats, like this hat right here, is a Yupung hat, if that's how you say it. But I like this style hat because, and I got this. Harley gave me a meat church hat that was this style, and I loved it. That's why I ordered these. However, Richardson 112s also make a hat that's really identical to this. So for these hats, these are Richardson hats. Okay. But also I did see where I can get Richardson hats from this company that are flex fit. And so I thought about you, Austin, and if you bigger headed guys, if you think that those flex fit hats would be better hats for you guys, let me know. And the next round, I'll order some flex fit hats. I do know they come in several different sizes, like a medium large, and then there might be a large, extra large or something. But if you think those will be better, let me know. And I'll try to get the flex fit version of those the next time I order. So let me know what you think about that. Wheat, good morning. Good to have you this morning. Jim K, good morning. I agree 100%. Hey, I'd love to do a collab. That would be awesome. That would be really cool. Dry duck makes great hats if you ever need another option. I'll check that out. Dry ducks. Let me write that down. I tell you, this notebook has got so much crap wrote in it. I write stuff down, like dry ducks. Well, a week from now, I'll probably look down and see dry ducks, and I'll be like, what? I don't even know what that means. But I got it wrote down. As long as the hat's large, extra large, they will fit. Okay. I'll see what I can do, Austin. And if you guys have a color that you would like to see, or would like to have, y'all let me know some color combinations or whatever. And the next time I can order some, I'll see what I can do with them. I do still have your number. I will. I'll try to get in touch with you here in probably after we get back from Talladega this coming up weekend. See if we can work something out. That'll be fun. With all the people still here that didn't win Wednesday, you might need a flex fit hat for your growing. No, I tell you what, that was really cool. The people that showed up for the giveaway and stuff, and really happy with the way that turned out. It was a fun night. It was definitely a fun night. So definitely need to get back to start making some videos. I haven't made like a cooking video in a little bit. I don't even remember what the last one was, to be honest with you. So I need to get back to doing that. But I enjoy the live streams because I get to interact with you guys. And matter of fact, the subscribers this morning was 5,153. So we've gone past 5,000 and are on our way to 10. So maybe we'll get there pretty soon. But like I say, I've kind of quit looking at the number as much because a guy told me a while back, it's not the number that matters, because there's a lot of numbers out there. Some of them are real, some of them are not. And what really matters is the subscribers that are actually real people that are watching your videos and commenting and all that stuff. And that's what I appreciate the most about all you guys. So it'll grow and get there when it gets there. I'm not really worried about that a whole lot. Elvin, that was odd. I'll just throw this out here real quick. I thought it was odd too, for a couple reasons. Number one, I made it as easy as possible to join the giveaway. Just leave a comment with your name and your city and state. That was it. So there were 800 views of that video, but only like 200 and something actually entered the giveaway. That's odd to me. I mean, what were the other 500 views, and why didn't they enter the giveaway? That was strange. Which is good, because the less people that enter, the better chance everybody has to win, obviously. But I thought that was really strange. And then a lot of people that entered then didn't show up for the actual giveaway to see if they won. So I thought that was odd too. Tango, good morning. Good to have you this morning. By the way, Tango Joe, I used your chicken rib rub yesterday on the ribs, and they turned out phenomenal. Turned out really good. Good stuff. If y'all need some good rubs, check out Tango Joe. Mayhem, good morning. I tune in enough that even my wife knows Jus Piddlin's schedule. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Just loaded my Silverbac with a bunch of ribs and some chuck roast. That's going to be good. That's going to be really good. Smiley's in the house and he's partly cloudy. Smiley, I was partly cloudy this morning too. I'm going to tell you. And I just throwing it out there. Have a blessed day, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Jimmy Q, good morning. Miss Rhonda, good morning. So Chad came over yesterday, and so Chad brought a couple racks of ribs, and I had a couple racks of ribs, and we cooked sausage and all that stuff. But I had gotten my koozies in, and so I don't know why. I've been doing the keto thing, and so if I drink beer, I usually have my Michelob Ultras in the cooler, and but I don't know why. But when I got my koozies, I could just see a Budweiser can, that beautiful red and white. That's the best looking can on the planet, and I could just see the red and white can. Daddy used to drink Budweiser all the time. I just had that vision. So yesterday when I went to the store, I got some Ultras, but I bought a 12-pack of the Bud Heavies. And man, it was a beautiful picture in the koozie. I think I might have even posted a picture of it with that can in it. But I also remember back in the day when I drank Bud Heavies that they would give you a massive headache, which is why I don't drink them anymore. But yesterday I was drinking them and I thought, this is not as bad as I remember. And so I think I drank a lot of them. Well, this morning I was reminded why I don't drink Bud Heavies anymore, because I was a little partly cloudy this morning. And so I don't think I'll probably be doing that again for a long time. Because when the alarm went off this morning to do the live show, for a second, I second guessed whether or not I was going to do a live show this morning. But the show must go on. Maybe the people don't know you are skeptical of giveaways. It could be. It could be. I was not aware of this until I started researching giveaways and started seeing people discussing giveaways and all this stuff. I didn't know this. Maybe some of you guys know. But there are actually professional don't even know what they're called. People that just search for giveaways and just enter giveaways, and they're like professional giveaway entry people, and they just search giveaways. They don't care if it's grills, they don't care what it is. And so then I guess they try to win these prizes, and then I guess they sell them for money or something. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Um, yeah, basically freeloaders. And some of them even have schemes where, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted people to put their city and state in which they live, is because, say, Tango Joe, if he just puts Tango Joe, doesn't put his city and state when he enters, well, when I announce the winner and the winner is Tango Joe, send me your address information and I'll ship it to you. Well, somebody else could email me, hey, this is Tango Joe, and give them their address, and I'm mailing it to the wrong person. Stuff like that. It's really kind of I mean, basically they're stealing. So, I don't want to do anything like that. I hope things like that don't happen. So, uh, really cool. It was kind of funny. Justin Stanley was on. I saw his name on the giveaway the other night, but then he said that in the middle of the giveaway, before we got to the Traeger package, his mom called. So he left the giveaway and was talking on the phone to his mom, and he didn't know that he had won the Traeger package. So I sent him a message yesterday, maybe, or Friday, and he still didn't know that he had won the Traeger package. So he had to go back and rewatch because he said, I never win anything, so I didn't think I won anything. So that was pretty funny. Coffee with Piddlin, then some yard work and grilling. I'm going to skip the yard work, and I grilled enough yesterday where we've got so many leftovers. I don't have to do that either. So I think we're just going to chill on the back porch, watch a little racing today. I think they're in Dover today. So watch a little racing. And I've got to finish packing up the giveaway stuff to mail out tomorrow. So we had 400 people join Pitmaster X's Discord in 24 hours after a giveaway was announced. Yeah. People, they want free stuff. Ricky Robinson, good morning. I'm just happy the weather has finally cooled off. We got a little breeze. I did see one thing I was going to mention. Oh, what's the deal? You guys tell me. What's the deal with smoked ice? I've been seeing it a lot lately on, the internet and stuff. Has anybody tried smoked ice? Harley might have tried it. I don't know. Anybody tried smoked ice? And is it really, does it really do anything, And how do you do it? Jim says it's raining hard in Brunswick. That's only I don't know, hour and a half from me. Keep the smoked ice away from my whiskey. We do it at Traeger HQ. Why smoke ice? Kind of like frying an Oreo. Now, Mark, I'm going to have to say that fried Oreo, we've got a seafood restaurant in Statesboro. Now, the combination doesn't sound like they go together, seafood restaurant with fried Oreos, but they do fried Oreos, and those things are addictive. I could see how it might be good with a Bloody Mary. Man, a Bloody Mary would be on time this morning. That might get rid of my cloudiness right there. That would be really good. Blinker fluid. I mean, I see people doing it. I guess you put water in your smoker and you get smoke in the water and then you freeze it or something. I don't know. Jim says smoked ice cubes and bourbon is awesome. I don't know. I guess everybody has their flavors and stuff that they like, but I just saw on here like it's actually a lady that's asking smoking ice, but at what temp and time? I don't know if you could get that wrong. And I guess it would be the time would be however smoky you want your ice. I don't know. That's just a little strange to me. I've never done it, but I keep seeing people post about smoked ice. So I was just kind of curious about that. Looks like a lot of people were cooking a lot of good stuff yesterday. By the way, Tango, what are you going to cook today? What you got on the grill today, brother? Harley said he's cleaning grills today. That's never a fun task. Had a coworker came over yesterday, and I was asked, "How do I decide what grill I'm going to cook on?" Well, it just depends on which one's clean. If one of them's dirty and I don't want to clean it, then I just use one that I've already cleaned. The problem with that is eventually they're all going to be dirty, and I'm going to have to clean all of them on the same day. So how is it done? I'm drinking coffee called Fog Chaser this morning. That's what I need because I got a lot of fog going on. I think somebody hit me in the head with those Bud Heavies before they went in that koozie. Smoked ice has a whole different meaning where I work. Yeah, I bet it does, Austin. You, in some places, smoked ice will get you thrown in jail on it. The bourbon makes you forget how weird the smoke ice. Chicken rib wings while I clean out the barbecue barn. The wings turned out pretty good too. I have noticed though that wings on the pit barrel cooker to me get almost a little too smoky at times. But man, the ribs turn out amazing. A pan of water on the grill and smoke at 180 to 200 for about an hour. Does anyone else have the problem of so many things you want to grill, but not enough people to eat it? No, I don't mind. I don't mind leftovers because most of the time, and this is a tip for anybody that is considering doing keto type stuff. You have to plan ahead because the day that you don't plan ahead and you don't take your lunch or plan for a meal, that's the day when you're going to pull through the drive-through at the fast food joint, and it's going to be downhill from there. Or you're going to pull into a convenience store and get two honey buns, 2 for $1 honey buns, and then you're going to be trashed the rest of the day. So you have to plan ahead. So for me, when we grill, especially during the week, I'll go ahead and grill too much, but I know that we're going to have lunch for the next couple of days. So that helps stay on track. Also, from a pulled pork standpoint, there's times when I want to do a pork butt, but I'll go ahead and buy two if they've got a good price. I'll go ahead and cook both of them And while we eat on one, I'll go ahead and chop up the other one and divide it up into 2 Ziploc bags, get all the air out nice and tight. Or if you have a vacuum seal type system, vacuum seal and put them in the freezer, then you've got pulled pork in the freezer that you can pull out at any time, so and usually what I do is whatever sauce that I like to use, I'll thin it down with a little bit of water. Mine and Harley's mama used to do that all the time. She called it thin sauce. And so she thinned it down with a little bit of water and add it to that meat before you put it in the freezer. And then when you thaw it out, it doesn't dry out. It just keeps it moist. And so that's kind of what I do with pulled pork if we have too much. So I kind of like having that extra in the freezer, knowing that sometimes if I'm not going to have time to cook a pork butt, during the week, I can take some out, and by the time I get home from work, it's thawed out, and we've still got some pulled pork. So, and and Tango said it, and I have yet to waste any pulled pork. It's always eaten at some point. What I have a problem with is there's so much that I would want to cook. Number one, there's a lot of things that I want to cook that I can't find in my area. So that's number one. Number two, there's a lot of stuff that I want to cook that just aren't in the budget to buy. So that's what I struggle with. But is pork skins a keto friendly snack? Absolutely. You can eat as many pork skins as you want. Harley Evans looking for maybe an affiliate link or something to Traeger as far as accessories go. He's got the ironwood. Budget does some come into play. Yeah, absolutely. And I see some of the YouTube guys have hooked up with LaBelle's of New York or Matador Meats, I think, and that kind of thing. And I've thought about that some, but I don't know. The thing about LaBelle's is, like, even if I got meat sent to me from LaBelle's, which would be cool. Don't get me wrong, that would be cool. But still, there's something about, and I'm not going to say that I would never do it, but there's something about, like, say, cooking I don't know, $100 steak, for example. I don't know any of my buddies that can afford $100 steak, you know? So I almost feel weird showing that on my channel, knowing that 95% that everybody that's watching it, they're never going to afford $100 steak, So that's just kind of something I struggle with as far as that goes, the Wagyu gold steaks, or these big tomahawk steaks that everybody's cooking now. You get a 2-inch thick Wagyu tomahawk steak that's $145 for one steak. And I'm not saying, again, that I wouldn't never cook one on my channel, but I do struggle with it sometimes because I know that none of the buddies that I know, my friends, I know what they do for a living. They're not going to go out and buy a $145 steak. So I just kind of think about that sometimes. I would rather do something that everybody can afford to do, just like I'm doing on the channel. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. I have been to LaBelle's in Manhattan, nice place and good meat, but wow, they are expensive. When someone cooks that meat on YouTube, it would be cool if they said how much it was. Yeah. I'll never forget the first time. I don't even know if I had started my channel yet, but I was watching YouTube channels, thinking about starting my channel. And I remember watching a guy cook some stuff from LaBelle's, and they said, go check out LaBelle's. So I looked it up, and I remember the feeling. I want to say, I'll be honest, I almost got angry when I looked them up because I was excited, you know. And then I saw the prices, and I was like, "What the world? Who can afford? I can't afford the meat clippings that they clipped off of the meat, you know." So yeah, on keto, isn't it a no-no to go over your macros and protein because the excess turns to carbs, um, and kicks you out of ketosis? Well, there's a couple of good points there. It is a little bit of protein, but the fat content is what you want. And the second thing is, the thing about ketosis is you don't have to be in ketosis. The whole thing about ketosis is your body's making ketones, and your body uses ketones. Uh, it it sends it to your brain, and that helps cognitive function and that kind of stuff. But you don't have to be in ketosis to for your. The reason why you're losing weight is not because you're in ketosis. You're losing weight because your body is burning fat, not carbs. And if you're not eating carbs, your body is not, it doesn't have any carbs to burn. So if you're not eating carbs, your body has to burn fat. Once it switches to burning fat, it doesn't matter if you're in ketosis or not, your body's still burning fat. All the ketosis part means is your body is making ketones, which it does use that for fuel as well. And there's some cognitive things that it does to help you as well. But you don't have to be in ketosis to for your body to burn fat. So I have never. I know that there are a lot of people out there that are on keto, doing keto, and they've bought the strips and they check to see if they're in ketosis every day and all that stuff. I've never done that. Um, just the other videos that I have watched and articles that I have read from doctors and stuff. The actual, you can obsess too much over actually being in ketosis. Uh, and I just didn't want to do that. So I track my macros on my Fitness Pal, and even I can eat a whole bag of pork skins, and my macros are still about 75% fat, 20-ish% in my proteins, and about 5 to 10% in my carbs. And it's always good. And as long as I keep my macros like that, whether I'm in ketosis or not, doesn't matter. I'm not taking in carbs, so my body doesn't have that to burn, so it has to burn fat. And that is the key to keto. If you're not eating carbs, your body has to burn fat. And once that fat burning process starts, it's like a fat burning machine. And that's basically what happens. Eddie says, I'm on Mito, Breado, and Gravy-O. And again, you know, I mean, it's not for everybody and all that. And you have to, uh, it's not just about eating bacon and eggs and pork skins all day. I mean, you want good fats too. You want coconut oils. You want oils from all kinds of different nuts like cashews and almonds and those kind of walnuts and all that. Good oils like an avocado oil or a olive oil. those kinds of things. Still eat vegetables, but it's got to be certain types of vegetables, cruciferous type vegetables, broccolis, and we do eat zucchini and squash, um, asparagus, those kinds of things. But so yeah, my micro targets. I usually try to keep my fats above 70%, and everything else usually falls in line because I try to stay away from the carbs. So if I keep my fats above 70, I'm not really eating carbs. The proteins usually fall in line, and I'm usually good. So, and now the way I do it also is I do the net carbs. So for example, if something has 10 grams of carbs in it, but it has 5 grams of fiber, that's a net of 5 grams of carbs. So I subtract the fiber from it. So Dr. Ken Berry, I love his YouTube channel. I kind of use him for some feedback a lot with his YouTube channel. I love his and Dr. Berg. He has a great channel that deals with keto a lot too. So really cool stuff. Dr. Ken Berry, he's got a good book. It's called The Lies That Doctors Told You, like as a kid or whatever growing up. He said that he used to be one of those doctors that would always tell you, like diabetics, you need to follow the American Diabetic Association diet. And I watched his video the other day, and what he was saying really made sense. The American Diabetic Association diet is really, I mean, like for example, they tell you to eat oatmeal. Well, oatmeal right off the bat spikes your insulin right off the bat. You know, why would they tell you to do that? It's kind of strange. So, and like he said, the American Diabetic Association diet has been around for years and years and years. And the whole time everybody has been following that diet, the more cases of diabetes have been rising and rising and rising. So there might be something to what he's saying, maybe. Cooper the Great, good morning. So do you not have an actual target on macros, as in say 100 grams? No, I don't. I don't do it by grams. I just do it by my Fitness Pal. You may be able to set it as far as whether you want grams or what. I do it as a percentage. So what percentage? I did limit my calories to 1,800 calories a day, but most of the time I don't even hit that. It's just kind of hard. It's hard to hit. It's hard to hit it because when you eat fats keep you from getting hungry a lot longer. I think it's called being satiated. And sugars, like if you, and it's true, back when I was eating crap, for example, in the morning, I get up, on the way to school, on the way to work, stop by a convenience store, get a Yoo-hoo and a honey bun for breakfast and eat that. Well, say that's 7 o'clock. Well, by 9:30 or 10 o'clock, I was hungry. I'll go to the snack machine and get another honey bun, eat that. Well, by lunch, I was hungry. So it's like all that crap just makes you want to eat more for some reason. And with this, at first, I kind of found myself, you would think eating a lot of fat would be easy. I found myself looking for fat to eat because my macros weren't good. I needed more fat. So I do it as a percentage, not as a gram weight. So with my Fitness Pal, for example, if I pick up a pack of almonds at the store, I need a snack, and I pick up a pack of almonds, I can just scan the barcode with my Fitness Pal, and it downloads the nutrients from the macros from that package and goes ahead and puts it in a pie graph for me. And so as long as it does that, then I'm good. I, that's the other thing. I have not um, I I haven't gotten into the intermittent fasting yet. Um, Now here's well, I can say I haven't. Um, and the reason why is, I don't know, in my mind, I guess I haven't got past not. Now I'll say this: we eat. Me and my brother are exact opposites as far as our eating habits go. We eat supper here at home usually by 5:30 in the afternoon. So I guess we probably uh, do a little bit of intermittent fasting because after 5:30 or 6, you know, we may eat something, we may not. But so from say 6 p.m. to the following morning, that's about 12 hours before we eat breakfast. So I, I guess you could consider that some intermittent fasting. But as far as the 18 to 20 hours of intermittent fasting that a lot of people are doing and only giving yourself 4 hour window to eat, I don't do that. How long have you been on keto, and when you started, how long was it before you saw the scale make a change? I have been on it, I want to say, well, about a year now, I guess. I guess it was about a year. Um, the first thing that I would say is don't worry about the scale. Matter of fact, we didn't own a scale. We didn't own a scale. We didn't own a scale until I think Nate moved back in, and we got a scale for him because he had to meet a certain weight to go to MEPS to join the Marine Corps. So we got a scale for him so that we can make sure he was underweight. But until then, we didn't own a scale. So we would take measurements sometimes when I first started, but I just knew because I had to go down a hole on my belt, and then I had to actually drill a hole in my belt. And now, even that hole, I just need to get another belt at this point. But I went down from a 38 in my jeans to one of my jeans now is a 34. So that lets me know that it's working, not the scale. The scale, like I say, I can get up in the morning and weigh 195, and then if I weigh at night, it might be 200 or 199 or so. So, uh, and somebody that helped me was Josh Phelps, who's the president of uh, Winchester Metals. They make the Watchman Stove. Uh, Back in his younger days, he was a uh, bodybuilder, amateur bodybuilder, and did a lot of the um, competitions and stuff like that. So he still puts out videos now on Instagram. Every morning he does a workout, and he films his workout and puts it on there. It's usually low impact, using bands and stuff like that. Not a lot of heavy weight, but for when you're getting into your upper 40s, uh, that's really the way you want to exercise more. Um, But long story short, I talked to him about this because when I first started this is how this happened. And some of you may be totally bored with this, but uh, how it happened was I needed to lose weight. I was having some health issues. I needed to lose weight. So what I started was what normal doctors will tell you to do, which is I started eating a lot of salad. Every morning I was eating some nice healthy oatmeal in the mornings. Um, Salads, fruits, oatmeal, no fat. Um, and I did that for, I don't know. And I was going to the gym 2 months, maybe. Never lost a pound. I mean, not a pound, not one. And so I contacted Josh. I was getting frustrated. I contacted Josh. Said, "Hey, Josh, I want to ask you about, your eating." And he was like, "Yeah." So we talked. He asked me what I had been doing. And so his advice was, he said, "You're going to think this is crazy, and your doctor is going to tell you it's crazy, but you need to flip flop your macros." At that point, I didn't even know what a macro was. You need to flip flop your macros, and you need to eat about 60% fat. I think his suggestion was 60, 30, 10 or something. So I just kind of looked it up, and then I started seeing where the word keto kept coming up. And I thought, well, basically, this is keto. So I could just kick it up from 60, go ahead and kick it up to 70 and do like 70, 20, 10 or something. And so I started doing that. And that's how my keto journey started. Um, and 2 weeks, maybe into it, I started telling a difference uh, in the way I felt. And then once I started burning fat, it just started, I don't want to say falling off, but I could just feel it in my midsection, in my waist, and started seeing it in my face and all that. And I've got a picture. Um, I'll try to post it on Instagram today. I've been a little leery about it because I don't have a shirt on, but I'll post it. But it's like a before and after picture. Now the after picture, I have lost more fat since that picture, but you can really just tell it in my mid area and in my face. Uh, and that's really just, yeah, Instagram. Well, Dr. Ken Berry, his YouTube channel um, is a great resource. Now, he has actually changed from keto to almost doing a totally um, carnivore diet, which he really eats nothing but meat now. I don't know if I would recommend that, but that's what he's gone to. But um, let me find, because Josh just changed his Instagram name. So now I've got to find it. Okay, so Josh Phelps's Instagram is the letter I Coach Keto. So ICOACH Keto. I'll type it down here. So Josh Phelps's Instagram is I Coach Keto. So look him up on Instagram. And again, he's the president of Winchester Metals that makes the Watchman Stove that I've got. They're great guys. Um, I talked to Ben a lot with the Watchman Stove, but both of those guys are great. Um, so he helped me a lot with kind of the eating process. And now I'll say this, Josh takes it to another level as far as some of the stuff that he eats. I mean, he makes some cocktails and does, and when I say cocktails, I'm not talking about liquor drinks. I'm talking about some weird oils and maybe a egg or and just drinks it or something. I'm not doing all that. He takes it to another level. Albert, good morning. Also, Dr. Berg, uh, maybe Eric Berg. Let me look that up real quick. Yeah. Um, he has a YouTube channel. I'll put down here. Dr. Eric Berg, look him up, and Dr. Ken Berry. He's got some great stuff on his channel. So I watch their videos a lot. And Dr. Eric Berg, him and his wife, they do a lot of keto recipes on their YouTube channel as well. So maybe that'll help you out too. Jimmy Q down 140 pounds. Man, that is huge. And I know you feel better. And even my son Nate, he has already said he feels so much better. It's not even funny. He had gotten, I mean, he was out of high school. He was working, you know, and he was hanging out and drinking beer and eating honey buns. And he had, you know, grew a beard and bushy hair. And I kept telling him, man, you need to clean yourself up. You need to take care of yourself, clean yourself up. And then he decided he was going to join the Marine Corps and shaved his face, cleaned up, and got a haircut and got on keto. And he looks like a totally different person. I mean, I may find a picture of him before and after and put it on Instagram today as well. So, but he looks like a totally different person too. Absolutely, man. I'll help out any way I can. Yeah, you do. You just got to be patient, and it'll come. How long have you been doing it? Ricky Robinson lost 70 pounds in 6 months. That's awesome. And there's a misconception that again, that all we eat is cheese and bacon and eggs and all that, and that is a large part of it. But again, it's also the healthy fats that you got to include in there as well. Um, and again, it amazes me now to think back at the amounts of sugar that I was eating every day or carbs that I was eating every day. It's you can't help but gain weight with all the carbs. And then go to a restaurant, everything's carbs. Look at our school. I was the other day, our school cafeteria, everything on the plate is carbs. Everything. Take the meat away, everything on the plate is carbs. And that's what we're feeding the kids. 2 weeks in, oh yeah, you'll see it, man. So last time I did keto, I lost about 30 pounds and just couldn't lose anymore and quit doing it. Here's something that I found interesting. Sometimes I do kind of plateau a little bit, I think. Well, I really haven't gone really much farther after I got under 200 pounds. But I think part of that is because I quit being so strict about it. But I'm trying to get back on track now. But here's something interesting, and this just happened. So it's good that this came up and I experienced it, because this may help you. I don't know. And I'm not telling you to cheat, but this is what happened to me. I was down to about 196-ish. And, sometimes, depending on what me and Brandy are doing, we may be going out of town or whatever. We don't plan well, or we just didn't take enough healthy snacks, and we end up going to Chick-fil-A and eating there or whatever. And after a couple of days of that, we can tell it. Our fingers are swollen up, our joints hurt. When we're on really good keto, my rings are falling off my fingers. Um, all the swelling is gone. There's no inflammation and stuff like that. Anyway, so I was around 196-ish. We kind of fell off the keto a little bit. I had gotten back up to 200-ish, 202 a week ago. And then I got back serious. And like I said the other morning, I was 195. That's the lowest I've been since we started this whole stuff. So I say that to say that if you get to where you plateau a little bit, I don't know if eating some carbs and then getting back off of the carbs kind of hit the reset button, if that makes sense, and got me burning the fat again. But that's kind of what it looked like happened. It's kind of like I ate some carbs and then cut them back off, and it's like that hit the reset button, and I started burning fat again. So, and here's the other thing, man. You got to understand too that everybody's body's different. Everybody's body is going to react to things differently, and you'll have to find what works for you. Just like me and Brandy did, just like Nate did. And once you find it, it'll you'll know it and it'll work. So, let's talk about honey buns. I might smoke some on the grill. That would probably be pretty good, actually. Someone told me there was a drink called Prove It that puts your body back into ketosis. I'm sure there probably is. The thing about that kind of stuff is that so many companies have jumped on that keto word. But I was watching a thing, another YouTube channel that I have gotten some recipes off of, and it's called Flav City with Bobby Parrish. Flav City with Bobby Parrish. So you can look this up. But he goes into detail a lot about, like, he goes to grocery stores and actually shows you what healthy stuff to buy. A lot of non-GMO stuff and that kind of organic stuff and things to be aware of. The biggest thing that I've taken away from his channel is I don't care if it says keto on the label in big bold letters. You better look at the ingredients, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what's the name of it is. You want to know what's inside that package. And if you turn it around and it says, corn syrup or this or that, then well, how can this be keto? So don't always trust if it says keto. You need to look at the ingredients, because there's a lot of ways that they get around that kind of stuff. And sometimes you may be thinking you're eating keto when you're really not, but it said keto on the label. So just read the ingredients to make sure you're not sabotaging yourself. Do you drink your coffee black? No, I don't. I've actually got a video on my channel of keto coffee, the keto coffee that I make. I don't buy the keto brand coffee from the store, but like I'll take uh, coffee, put it in a blender with some coconut oil, some butter, the Kerrygold's grass-fed butter, and a scoop of protein powder, vanilla protein powder. And what the vanilla protein powder does is it gives it a little bit of sweetness. And I put it in the blender and blend it up. So really the only calories that's in there is coming from a little bit from the protein powder, which I'm okay with, and the coconut oil, but I'm getting my fats from the grass-fed butter and the coconut oil. And that's the way that you can jumpstart your morning and get ahead of those macros. When I first started, again, I struggled getting the fats that I needed in the morning because I wasn't used to eating fat and watching my macros. The easiest way that I found to get on top of my macros and get them right was that keto coffee. And that was by adding that coconut oil and the butter instead of creamer. By the way, I didn't know this. Maybe you guys do, but I didn't know this. But the regular liquid coffee creamer that you buy at the store, there is zero cream or milk in there. None. So I'm like, what the crap is it? Well, it's like oils and uh, corn oil or canola oil and powders, and it makes it look like it's cream, but there's no cream in there. There's no cream in creamer. So people talk about, oh my gosh, you're putting that coconut oil in your coffee and you're putting butter in your coffee. How gross is that? You realize what's in that bottle of creamer that you just put in your coffee? At least I know now that I know where this butter came from and I know where this coconut oil came from. You don't have any idea what's in that creamer you just put in your coffee, you know? So, uh, yeah. And it's, and there's a lot of different versions, you know, you got to find what's right for you and do it. Love eating olives, salami, and cheese. I found some olives that were stuffed with blue cheese, and those are pretty good for a snack, you know. C60, I'll check that out. But you know, it's an ongoing process. But I can tell you that I feel way better now, and I just feel good knowing that for the most part, there are times every week that I slip up, you know, and probably eat something that I shouldn't. But for the most part, I'm not. I don't. I'm not eating the standard American diet of carbs all day, every day anymore. And I love that part about it. And I see people eating the standard American diet, and I think, man, their insulin levels have to be, you know, and then they're like that, and then all of a sudden crash. Oh, I need a honey bun, and then crash. Oh, I need it, a donut. So I'm glad I'm not on that roller coaster anymore. And I feel better physically, but I feel better about that I'm not eating that stuff nearly as much anymore. Again, man, I did the macros one time on that combo that I used to get from Taco Bell, that double extra large grilled burrito, I think is what it's called, stuffed burrito or something. It's huge. And it's got rice in it and just, oh, and just that was, I mean, I can't even remember, just through the roof. And then it came with a soft taco, which was more carbs. And then, obviously you got a soft drink with it. I would eat that once or twice a week, but then still eat like breakfast and then like supper too or something, I mean, just the amount of carbs that I was eating every day was unbelievable. I would eat now. My carb intake in a week is probably still less than was what was in that one meal that I would eat a couple times a week. You know, it's just amazing. I did get your email. I did get your email, and thank you so much. I even read it to Brandy. That was a really cool email. I appreciate that. Um, what does a typical day in calorie consumption look like for you? Like I said, on my Fitness Pal, I set a goal for 1,800 calories, but I really quit keeping up with the calories or looking at them. I hadn't looked at them in a while because I rarely get that far in calories. And I know that sounds weird because that's not a lot of calories, but um, what I have done, at least for like the past week, like I say, we had a little spill where we weren't on track much. Me and Brandy could both tell it, so we got back on track. And so something else that I saw on Dr. Berg's channel was how one of the most important macronutrients for your body is potassium. And he was going through some of the symptoms you might have if you're low in potassium. And it sounded really familiar to me. So I thought, well, maybe I need to take a look at that. So, and on keto, really one of the biggest ways to get potassium, because you don't want to eat bananas, is salad. But not just iceberg lettuce, but the mixed spring mix of different types of lettuces. And but you've got to eat a lot of it. And so what he does is one meal, like for say lunch, he'll just sit down and eat a whole bowl of salad. But that's how he gets the potassium into his diet. And so I've started eating salads every day for lunch. Now I'll add seeds like sunflower seeds, or I'll add nuts like cashews, or uh, sometimes peanuts, but mostly like shaved almonds or cashews. But I really like sunflower seeds on my salad, so I'll do that. And for dressing, the Paul Newman dressings are really pretty good dressings, store bought dressings, if you don't want to make your own. So that's what I've been doing. And then obviously, I'll get a block of cheese and cut up some different kinds of cheese, whether it's pepper jack or Colby jack, whatever you want. So you're getting some of that in there too. So with the salads, breakfast, I usually just drink coffee in the mornings. Sometimes we do the keto muffins. I've got a video on the keto muffins that we do. Um, Sometimes we do eggs, but I've kind of gotten burnt out on eggs a little bit. So some mornings it's just coffee. But then I'll do the salad for lunch, and then supper, I'm grilling. Uh, it might be chicken, might be pork tenderloin, it might be whatever. And then we'll have some asparagus with that, stuff like that. So I rarely probably even meet my goal of 1,800 calories. So that's another way, um, I guess, that I've lost some. It's just because of my calorie intake, but it's simply because with the fat that I take in, I'm not on that roller coaster carb wise, and that the fats just make you not get as hungry as much. And and so I guess that's why. But I haven't struggled at all with worrying about what my calories are. Like I say, I haven't even tracked calories in a long time. So, but if you have any more questions about it, just shoot me a message or something, and I'll try to help you out. And like I say, check out Josh. His now most of his videos that he posts on Instagram are more of the exercises that he does in the mornings, but there's lots of times too that he'll post some of the stuff that he's eating and stuff like that too. So but Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Eric Bird, they've got great channels and a lot of great information on there. So, and I intended to do more of the keto stuff on my channel. It's just difficult to do barbecue and stay keto. It's not difficult until you get to sauces and rubs. And there's a lot of, and I know that there's sauces out there. I know that there's rubs out there that you could do it with. I just haven't, be honest with you, I haven't taken the time to find them and to use them. So that's where I'll fall short with the keto stuff on my channel, is with the sauces and rubs pretty much. But I've been tracking closely now and losing nothing. First time I did it, I tracked nothing and it came off quick. Yeah, and that's the first thing that Josh told me. Forget about the scale. Don't worry about the scale. You'll know you're doing it right when you start seeing it on your body. And he was right. I quit worrying about what I was weighing. And when I started hitting down a hole on my belt, and then I had to make a new hole on my belt, and then I had to go buy new pants because they weren't fitting anymore. I mean, these shorts. I've got my belt on the last hole, and that's the hole that I made. And these shorts at one time used to be tight, and now I could probably take them off without unbuttoning them. And these shorts used to be tight. So that's the difference that I have seen. And it wasn't because I was weighing myself every day. I just kept doing what I was doing every day and just started seeing it. That's when you know you're on the right track, and that pushes you to keep at it because you know it's working. And this is the first thing that I've ever done to try to actually lose weight and get healthier that actually made sense. I can process it in my brain, and it makes it makes sense to me. And that is, if you're taking in carbs and your body's burning carbs for energy, that means whatever fat that you take in, your body stores because it doesn't need it because it's burning the carbs for energy. If you quit taking in carbs, you've removed that energy source from your body. It has to have something for energy, so it starts burning your fat. That makes sense to me. And if it makes sense, then the only other thing that makes sense that I have tried, and it's why people fail, is basically starvation, which is calorie cutting. You cut your calories, basically you're starving yourself and you're miserable, you're hungry all the time, and you do lose weight, but you can't stick with it because it's not sustainable. You can't starve yourself forever. And then all of a sudden one day you go to McDonald's and you buy 12 Big Macs and you just gorge yourself, and then you feel miserable about yourself because you just failed, and then there went your diet. You can't, that's not sustainable. This, I feel like, is sustainable. I don't think I'll ever go back to the way that I used to eat. And it's not because, you know, I just don't want to, I don't really want to do that, you know, so. buying new pants and belts is really good motivation. I mean, it really is. It really is. I'll tell you something else that's pretty good motivation too. I've had a couple of buddies and you don't see them for a while and they're, still eating the same standard American diet. And then the next time you see them, they've put on 20 pounds and then they see you and they're like, what the crap is that guy doing? He's lost what I put on. So that is a great motivator too. And when you finally realize, I'm glad I don't look like that guy, that is a good motivator, you know. But again, everybody's body's different. Some things work for some people, some things may not work for some people. You have to find what works for you. And there's no cookie cutter thing that is going to work for everybody. So you have to find that for yourself. But if I can help in any way, any of you guys, I'm certainly not an expert in it at all. I can just tell you what has worked for me. So yes, 100%. All right, you're not going to be successful with keto if you still have a cabinet full of Little Debbie's. You can't. You got to get that out of there. It's like an alcoholic having a liquor cabinet full of liquor. That's not going to work. You can't be on keto and still have your cabinets full of a standard American diet type food. You got to get rid of the boxes of cereal. We did it. I had, again, like I said, when I first started this and I started on the standard American diet, what they were recommending, I bought it was that tall, that big around of the Quaker Oats oatmeal. It was huge. Threw it out. All the oatmeal, threw it out. All the boxes of cereal, threw it out. All that stuff, you know, you got to get it out of there. Otherwise, you're still going to eat it. And I'm still learning, like I only learned about the coffee creamer this past week. I mean, how is there no cream in coffee creamer? It's basically crap. So I'm looking into finding keto friendly coffee creamers online. And old Flav City, he has a whole video on nothing but coffee creamers. So check him out too. But yeah, and that's a good point too. You have to understand and realize. Don't forget, you're not the only one. There's millions of people out there going through the same stuff. So don't feel like it's just you. Don't feel like it's just that you're the only one trying keto, but you're not seeing results. Everybody else is seeing results. Well, everybody else might have been doing it 2, 3, 4 times as long as you have been. Or here's the other thing too, and I have to tell myself this too. This is one reason why I like my Fitness Pal. And I'll tell you this, and then we're going to get off of here. Do you not like just regular heavy whipping cream in it? Well, I do, but here's Robert Jones. Good morning. Good to have you. I do like heavy whipping cream. Russell Cooks, good morning. But again, me and Brandy are both doing it. She likes the coffee creamers. And so most time we buy coffee creamers. But I don't mind the heavy whipping cream. I like that a lot. And because of finding out about the other creamers, that may be what we end up going to, is just heavy whipping cream. But that brings up another good point is if you're in a household with someone else, say your spouse, it's going to be a lot easier if you are both on board with everything. That way you don't have that other person sabotaging what you're trying to do, you know. And so that helps out a ton. And the other thing that I was going to say is, and I have to remind myself about this all the time because I'm guilty too. You have to be honest with yourself. That's why I like MyFitnessPal or any app like this. I'm not sponsored by MyFitnessPal or anything. That's just it has made me accountable. So what I have found is when I use it, I'm honest. When I don't use it, I tend to get off track sometimes. So when I am using MyFitnessPal and I'm plugging in what I eat or I'm scanning what I eat, it's in here. It's visible for me to see what I put in my body that day. When I don't plug that stuff in, here's where you can trick yourself into justifying just about anything. And so let's say I eat something I shouldn't have eaten, but I didn't log it in, so it's almost like it never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's not good. You can trick yourself in. So I say that to say this. Also, if you're doing keto, but you're not seeing results, somebody else is doing keto and they're seeing results. I've had to remind myself of this too. So I'm guilty. You have to be honest with yourself. Am I really eating clean? Am I really doing it the right way to where I can see results? You know, that guy over there might be eating a lot cleaner than you are, or this or that. So what I'm saying is you gotta keep yourself honest, if that makes sense. You know, I have fallen into that too, you know. Well, I didn't log in that honey bun in here, so it's kind of like it never happened. Well, it still happened because you still ate it. So, and then at the end of the day, you can say, well, my macro said this. In the back of your mind, though, you know that's not really what happened that day. That convenience store honey bun forgot is all of a sudden, you know. So just you got to be honest with yourself too. And I use stevia a lot in my coffee. That's what I use. Now, I'll be honest with you. Now, Brandy's lost weight too. She didn't need to lose a whole lot, but now that's one thing that she has not given up is she still puts probably a tablespoon of real sugar in her coffee every morning. But again, everybody's body's different. She has still lost weight, even though she still uses a tablespoon of sugar or teaspoon. I'm not sure how much she puts in her coffee every morning, or not just every morning, every cup. And she drinks a lot of coffee more than I do. But for her body, she has still been able to lose weight, burn fat, even though she's still been using a little bit of sugar. Now, for me, I use stevia, powdered stevia in my coffee. Uh, Sometimes when I'm not making the keto type coffee, and I may even try it. I haven't tried the stevia in my keto coffee yet to replace the protein powder, um, but I need to start doing that some more. All right, guys, we're an hour and 45 minutes this morning. That was a good one, but that's good talk. You know, maybe not necessarily barbecue talk, but again, that's what this morning show is for. Some is to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, and that's a good topic. You know, if we can all help each other get healthier, you know, yeah, like those Bud Heavies yesterday, and that was not keto friendly. And again, this morning, my fingers feel like hot dogs. swole up hot dogs. And there's no doubt it was from them Budweisers yesterday. So again, that's part of wandering off track, but you got to get back on it. So, and that's the other thing too. I'll say that, and then we got to get off. You guys get me on a topic, and then it leads from one thing to another. But the other thing is this: if you do cheat or do something you shouldn't have, don't beat yourself up over it and think it's the end of the world and I've ruined it, so I'm just going to quit. It's okay. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. Turn your steering wheel, get back on the road, and you'll be fine. No big deal. So, if something like that happens, it's all right. Get your butt back on track and keep rocking. So, but if I can be of any more help with this stuff, let me know, and I'll help you out any way I can. Good luck to everybody that's doing it, and find what works for you. So, great show this morning. I'm gonna heat up some ribs that we had left over from yesterday, watch a little racing, and do a little relaxing, and then we'll start back the week tomorrow, unfortunately, but it's coming either way. So enjoy your day. Appreciate all you guys. Give me a thumbs up before you leave, if you will. And until next time, we'll be piddling. See you guys.